Our world's at war, it's tooth and claw, the future's looking dire. It's out of hand when Russell Brand is hailed as our messiah. The Ebola crisis, UKIP ISIS, fracking the economy. And all the while we sat and watched I'm a Celebrity. Come to the Kebabaret, chase all your cares away, because it's such a pain in the ass being conscientious and middle class. It makes you very sad that in the Grawny ad, that Nigel Slater piece you read and says, for the planet you should go vegan. It's Kebabaret. In tonight's show we have Radio 4 in 4 minutes. Adam Curtis explains Ebola in 97 easy steps. Spider House gets dissected like the guts of a fly. Plus we bring an end to injustice, tyranny and greed throughout the world, establishing a new non-adversarial system, democracy for the first time in human history. Not bad for a £300 taster tape from BBC 4. Come to Kebabaret, hip 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 hooray. Just take it from me, it's like a posh ITVP. It's Kebabaret. Ebola, of course, remains a concern for many of us. Although the media hasn't yet broken out into the full-blown hysteria it's saving for if a white person dies from it. But where did Ebola begin? And how did it spread? Fortunately, we have an Adam Curtis documentary to explain it all nice and simply.
This is the story of how we came to be terrorised by a virus none of us has seen. But it all starts with a book, or a film, or a play from the 50s, which you've never heard of, but I have, because I've read and watched everything there ever was. Now watch some old home movie footage of Traffic from 1972, while I explain why somebody did something, and the profound way in which it was to change something else. Turn to page 387 in your workbooks. Nowadays, we take childhood vaccinations for granted. But it wasn't always like this. And it starts in Zambia in 1922, when a man called Dingiswayo Fungumwango wrote a pamphlet which he gave to his mother. It was to have catastrophic consequences for the whole of Western civilization. 20 years later, Klaus Henschel, a German in Argentina who had predicted the downfall of the Third Reich, went into a cafe and ordered scrambled eggs. They came with bits of pepper in, and he picked them out. By now, you're probably having some trouble remembering the meanings of each individual word I'm saying, let alone the thread of the narrative, but you're doubtless very impressed. Klaus never finished his scrambled eggs. In 3 weeks, if you're still awake, I'll tell you why, and you can come away from the whole experience of this documentary shaking your head and mumbling, gosh, yes, amazing, even though you're not entirely sure what it was that was so amazing. In the meantime, I'm off down the boot fair for more old VHSs.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ed Miliband.
I'm a passionate politician, red-blooded through and through. No wonder when they see me, my colleagues whisper, coup. The fact is that since Thatcher, it's such a bloody drag. But the people only vote for the one they want to shag. You're listening to Today with me, Evan Davis, still not fully able to multitask, and John Humphreys. 28 minutes to 9, and time now for me to get all cantankerous and belligerent, trying to point score with someone over an issue I don't fully understand, and that I'll probably start moralising over as well. I don't understand why young people are looking at pornography in the first place. Welcome to In Our Time, the programme that just starts. The Byzantines invented smelting and trigonometry, and I'm joined in the studio by 3 people who have never had sex with another person and therefore find it all fascinating. Hello, I'm Peter White, still doing my best to make a story about a lady whose gas bill was overcharged by 17p sound interesting and dramatic. Thanks, Peter. Time now for the Sodding Archers. Hello, love. Hi. Is everything okay? Oh, yes, I'm just doing a spot of radio voice acting by breathing a lot. I can't breathe. Well, I can't even get more than sorry. Is that okay? One more. Okay, still rolling. All right. Well, I can't move my door now. All right? Super.
Time now on Radio 4 for some drama. Set in present-day Kabul, The Swans Have Burst tells the story of a young woman's struggle reconciling the modern world with her traditional values. Hey-yo!
When I was a little girl, the stallholders in the market called me Fatki, which means unbelievable cliché.
The Swans Have Burst, written by Tristan Fraser Dunlop. If you're still with us, well done. Time now for Poetry Please with Roger McGough.
Hello, and welcome to Poetry Please. One side of A4, read out over half an hour.
This is Radio 4, the home of radio comedy, simply because we're the only people who have the budget for it. Perhaps we shouldn't sound so smug. Time now for The Oxbridge Chronicles. Hooray!
Hello, we're a cavalcade of young white men who speak reasonably fast and deliver a script that's been so laboured over it might as well have been carved out of marble. With a vocal delivery that has the subtlety of a snooker ball smashing into a row of teeth, giving the audience nice easy cues for when to laugh. All that effort and expense, all that fretting, totally wringing out any instinctive comedic flair, leaving you with a contrived morass of puns and tired observations. But it doesn't matter because all our mates are in the audience. Go on, hooray!
Welcome to the moral maze. Is it time to bring back slavery, or did it never go away? Yeah? Shipping forecast issued at middle class bedtime hours GMT. Fisher, Dogger, Jim Jams, good. North at Sierra, South at Sierra, falling sleepy, soporific, good. German bite, warm milk, childhood throwback, eyelids falling steadily, one, then two. In my 40s, mummy, daddy, night-night, darling. Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. George Osborne.
Oh, the day that we got married. Have I told you this before? Don't ask about my father-in-law. For when he's on the bubbly, can he be a frightful bore? Don't ask about my father-in-law. For when it comes to sheer self-interest, I shouldn't like to tell. But the fact that he's a lobbyist sponsored by BP and Shell means that when I'm pushing fracking on the House of Commons floor, don't ask about my father-in-law. Lord Howell, bubbly, just a little more. Cross I'm a Celebrity with Wes Craven and Horizon, and you have a reasonable approximation of Spider House, broadcast this week on BBC 4. Dr. Alice Roberts is the host, I don't mean host in a parasite-carrying sort of way, guiding us through a house, as the title suggests, full of spiders, thoughtfully placed in the most macabre poses imaginable. Just wait till you see the one they put upstairs in the mouth of the dead dowager. Arachnophobic Dr. Alice gamely begins her ordeal.
So this is quite sweet. This reminds me of a cat licking its paws.
But then, the tiny spider instantly rushes aggressively towards her and seeks to engage, proving that they know something we don't know. So far, the show is pretty on message in a caring 90s sort of way. Don't flush them down the sink. They prove this is bad by science. And we've had the they do a good job really spin. But let's look at that good job in detail as the spider wraps the fly up and liquefies its innards, drinking it like a vermin smoothie. Wow, that's amazing, says Alice. Well, the judge didn't say it was amazing when I did that to a hiker. I got 15 years. But it seems that this is generally the thrust of our attitude to the animal kingdom, namely, how useful is this animal to us? Even though I fucking hate spiders, when you see them being pinned down and having their silk harvested, I can't help but feel a bit sad. They're just another commodity for us to exploit. Same with the guy with what I feel are issues-based piercings, whose job is to electrocute spiders and extract their venom for a living. So I'm delivering a first tiny pulse. Another great use for spiders, of course, is keeping them as a pet, as a substitute for having a personality. Mr. Donut Ears, Peter, explains the intricacies of the criteria for judging spider crufts.
We got to make sure they got 8 legs.
Lost me already. Here's the thing. Isn't it important for us to feel frightened of an animal? Just to keep our species' ego in check? To spend a few minutes not swaggering about and feeling like we're top of the food chain? Now, I'm not your dinner, yes, but you could be. That's the point, and home to all her spider babies. Rather than watching the show and having my fears dissipated, I actually started to treasure the fear for the humility the spiders gave me.
The spiders in your house live in a brutal world. where it's kill or be killed.
Yes, it's called The Actual World. Good night, BBC4. Yeah, sleep tight. That was our taster tape. We licked it into shape in more or less a week, so it might need a little tweak, but now we'll go away. Thanks for having us at your super fun time meeting.